I need help with this one. How can the founder of Latinos for Trump come out against him and say, when looking at the raids happening in LA right now, that this is not what they voted for? She said, I've been with him through thick and thin, but this is not what we voted for.
What the President Trump is doing, or what the administration is doing in deporting illegals. But we do know that unfortunately what's happening right now, after 6 months of being Mr. President being in office, that we're losing thousands and thousands of workers.
So, Governor, forgive me. I've got to sit down because I am not feeling well.
Okay, so I know y'all remember her. That's Ileana Garcia, who I just recently found out is the leader and creator of Latinas for Trump. And she recently released a statement saying that the White House immigration crackdown was inhumane.
So you want to tell me the founder of Latinos for Trump nearly collapsed while talking about how hurtful it is for her to watch what DJT is doing to her community? And on top of that, she is trying to beg her fellow Latinos to forgive her because she lured them into singing "I will vote for Donald Trump." And just as she is busy asking for their forgiveness, they are coming out on the internet crucifying her for luring them into voting for DJT. Yeah, they are pissed. And she is not having it. She is crying every single day on Twitter that, Mr. President, you have ashamed me and my community. We trusted you. My people trusted me. They voted for you. Now the entire Latino community, the entire Hispanics, they are angry at me. Why would you do this to my community? Meanwhile, Latinos, when they see the ICE raids in Atlanta, when they see what's happening in LA now, kids are being cuffed by ICE. They are putting her on the forefront that Garcia, if it was not you, we would not be here. We trusted you to lead us into the right way. We should have listened to Black people. Hey!
I need help with this one. How can the founder of Latinos for Trump come out against him and say, when looking at the raids happening in LA right now, that this is not what they voted for? She said, I've been with him through thick and thin, but this is not what we voted for. How do you sit there as a Latina for Trump, as an organizer, as the president, as a member, whatever, and watch people holding mass deportation signs now and think that something like what we're seeing in LA that looks like a literal war zone, a country that is not the United States, that is not like the United States to me, and be caught off guard, then say, this is not what we voted for. What did you vote for? Because that to me seems like exactly what you voted for. Now, you didn't think he was going to come for everybody? Is that what you're saying? Because the sign that says mass deportations now didn't say get out just the criminals. It said mass deportations. You trusted a snake. You trusted a fox. You got in bed with him. And now you're realizing that you were bitten. And you said, how could you? We trusted you. Why would you trust this? This is the same man who said Haitians were eating dogs and cats. There were Venezuelan gangs. He has made up lies about so many Latina groups. It's not even funny. So Latinas for Trump and Latinos for Trump and anybody else, any other Hispanic for Trump that wanted to vote for him thinking they were going to be safe and they were just going to get the ones behind me. Yeah, that's an FAFO to the highest degree. That is absolute just stupidity on your part. And I am so glad you are getting the day you voted for. This is exactly what we told you was going to happen. We knew he was not going to stop with criminals. He was going to go after anybody and everybody. And LA, these ICE raids in LA, that is just the tip of the iceberg that you have allowed to happen.
Now, she said, this is not what we voted for, State Senator Ileana Garcia said in a statement on Saturday. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane.
Well, they did sign up for it, actually, and this is what I campaigned on.
You politicians that are saying this, I don't know if you are saying this because you're hoping to get points back with your community, with your constituents who know that you sold them up the river, but it's not going to work. One, this is what you voted for. Do you not remember when this man held a rally and there was one person there that he didn't like at the rally? So he instructed the group of people to beat that person up and drag them out of the rally?
Get her out of here. But there's a slob. There's a real slob.
If he does that with somebody at a rally, what do you think he would do with the people that he has labeled horrible things that he says don't belong in this country? Y'all did know this was going to happen. This is what you voted for. This is what you wanted. Because if you didn't want this, there was another clear option of somebody who was not going to do any of this. And the fact that you're the leader of a group called Latinas for Trump, that is Latin women for Trump, says it all. I cannot believe that you decided to put out this statement.
Garcia, I'm gonna need you to be so fucking serious, bitch. I'm gonna need you to be so serious. So you see this one right here? She is the co-founder of Latinas for Trump. Take a good look at what she looks like. She's a Miami Republican who is now condemning Trump for his mass deportations and has blasted him on X and said the following. I want to put myself on record. This is not what we voted for.
We have breaking news right now. The founders of Latinas for Trump, Florida State Senator Ileana Garcia, is now coming out and blasting the Trump administration's immigration policy, calling it inhumane, the mass deportation efforts that the Trump administration has engaged in. This is a serious statement, and the dam is breaking as we speak. According to the Miami Herald, she said, quote, "This is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane." She went on to say that this undermines a sense of fairness and justice that the American people value. She criticized Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, who was really the architect behind this entire policy, saying they are now just as American, if not more so, than Stephen Miller, referring to her parents who came over from Cuba and are Cuban refugees. Folks, there is a dam, and the dam is breaking right now.
Oh, no. The co-founder of the Latinas for Trump campaign, she comes out and calls this unacceptable and inhumane, the mass deportation that's going on in LA right now and all throughout California. She calls it inhumane and unacceptable. And she also said, this is not what we voted for. What do you mean? Like, this is exactly what you voted for. You thought he was just playing when he was coming on there? Trump's new bill, Big Beautiful Bill, has a plan on deporting over 1 million people a year. That's the goal, the quota, the minimum, 1 million people a year. He said this before he even got to office. Yes, Donald Trump is delivering on everything that he said he was going to deliver on. You got to give him that. We have lower taxes now by 2% or less, and mass deportation. I mean, that's what he said. He wanted to get illegals out of here because they're messing up the country and they're riding on the country's debt and all that. That's what he said. These aren't my words. These are his. So in the end, I don't know what she's talking about, saying this is not what we voted for. He literally made fun of Joe Biden and Obama for not deporting enough people.